Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear students, welcome to our class. Hope you all are doing good. Barakallah fikum. So today inshallah we will be continuing from this sense organs. Okay, last class we stopped till here. Sense organs. And what are sense organs? As I told, sense organs, they have certain receptors through that they can receive certain stimulus. For example, nose we can smell things, and eyes we can see things, using light, and ears we can hear things. So stimulus is like anything external factors that we can sense through the receptors, so like sound or light or uh, uh, like other things like smell. So the stimulus that then reaches the spinal cord and the brain through the sensory nerves. Okay, so sensory nerves play a role where it is integrated. Then this message is sent by the motor nerves to the required organ, that is muscles or gland, for suitable action. Okay, that is the next step. In this way a response is generated, as I told before with the example of skin. Okay, what happens in skin, okay, when something hot touches our skin, how the response goes and processed, and how it is uh, how the suitable action like pain, okay, is formed or generated. That is a response. Okay, so the major divisions of the nervous system. So there are two major divisions of the nervous system. First one is central nervous system, and then you have peripheral nervous system. Okay, central nervous system, that is CNS, and peripheral nervous system, which is PNS. So the central nervous system, it includes brain and spinal cord. You have to remember this. So when you hear central nervous system, brain and spinal cord should come in your mind. Okay, then peripheral nervous system, which is nothing but all the nerves that arise from the brain and spinal cord. Okay, all the nerves that arise from the brain and spinal cord, they are the peripheral nervous system, that you have to remember. Okay, so the major division of the nervous system can be summarized in this chart. Here you can see the two major nervous system. First one is central nervous system, and then you have peripheral nervous system. So when you take central nervous system, as I told, it has brain and spinal cord. Spinal cord function is it controls reflex actions. Reflex action is anything like sudden action. Okay, and it conveys impulses to the spinal cord. Okay, and brain has three main parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. We will see this all in detail when we see about brain. Okay, and we have peripheral nervous system. They are nothing but the nerves which arise from the brain and spinal cord. Their function is to carry the impulses to and from, okay, from the central nervous system, and it is further classified into somatic nervous system and autonomic nervous system. Okay, when you take somatic nervous system, they have cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Cranial nerves is nothing but those nerves which arise from the brain, and spinal nerves are those which arise from the spinal cord. There are 12 pairs of cranial nerves and 31 pairs of spinal nerves. So autonomic nervous system, are they are close or embedded in the organs. Okay, they are pair of chains of ganglia. Ganglia is nothing but a group of nerve cells. Okay, a group of nerve cells. Then further, ANS, that is autonomic nervous system, is classified into sympathetic and parasympathetic. Okay, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So the sympathetic is responsible for accelerating the heartbeat, and it dilates our pupil in our eyes. Okay, you can see pupil. Okay, if you Google it, you will get to know what is pupil is, and it dilates it. Okay, dilates means it expands, And the another function is to it constrict the blood vessels. Okay, blood vessels, when there is a need for constriction, okay, reducing the size, it happens, and it releases sugar from the liver. Then parasympathetic, that nerve system, their function is to restore the normal body condition. Okay, to restore the normal condition to the body. Okay, this is the chart of nervous system. You have to remember this and write this down multiple times so that you remember. Okay, so the next we will see is the central nervous system in detail, inshallah. As I told, central nervous system has a brain and spinal cord. So central nervous system, they are regarded as the information processor. Okay, information processor, because any information that has to be processed in our body, it happens in the central nervous system, and it consists of, as I told, brain, it lies under the skull. Okay, lies under the skull. And spinal cord, it it is contained within the vertebral column in our body. Okay, and now we will see brain. As all of us know, brain is a very delicate organ. Okay, delicate means soft. Okay, it's not very hard organ. It is well protected within the bony cranium, that is brain box. You can see here, this is the cranium. Okay, bony, so that's called as brain box. Here you can see. Okay, this is the cranium. So the brain is protected well by the bony cranium. Okay, it's very hard, and it is further, it is protected by three meninges. Okay, three meninges. How many meninges? Three. Okay, so meninges are nothing but they are membranous coverings. They are membrane for covering the brain, and they continue backward over the spinal cord. Here you can see the meninges, they continue backward over the spinal cord, here down. Okay, so these meninges are three. First one is dura mater. Okay, and it is the outermost tough fibrous membrane. It is fibrous. Okay, and it is the outermost membrane, and it is tough. And the next one is arachnoid. Next one is the arachnoid in the meninges. It is thin and delicate. Okay, delicate is soft, and it is a middle layer giving a web-like cushion. Okay, so it is like web-like, and it gives cushion. If you have seen sofa or anything, you have cushion, right, for the softness. Like that, the thin delicate middle layer arachnoid acts as like a cushion. And the next one is pia mater, and it is the innermost. Okay, it is the in the meninges, it is the innermost near to the brain, and it is vascular membrane. Okay, highly vascular. Vascular in the sense it has a lot of tubes like, okay, small tubes like. So they are richly supplied with blood. Okay, they are richly supplied with blood, those vascular membranes. And the space between these coverings, okay, these three coverings, they are filled with a watery fluid known as cerebrospinal fluid. This you have to remember. So in the meninges, the uh, the space between these coverings are filled with a watery fluid known as cerebrospinal fluid. And what is the function of this fluid? It acts like a cushion to protect the brain from shocks. When we walk, when we fall down, or we hit our head somewhere, accidentally, so our brain has to be protected, right? So when we suddenly move, or when we fall down, or when we are hit, okay, there is a shock that is formed in our body. Okay, the sudden shock. So the brain has to be protected. So the cerebral spinal fluid, it acts like a cushion. Okay, when such shock happens. Okay, shock is not electrical shock, but any sudden movement like. Okay, so the brain has to be protected. So this cerebrospinal fluid, it acts like a cushion to protect the brain from sudden shocks. So here you can see this is the structure of the brain, and you have many parts. In the examination they might ask you to draw the diagram of brain. It's very easy. Okay, so you have to draw this one. Okay, this diagram, you can practice it. It is easy, inshallah. Okay, so here you can see this is the outer cranial membrane. You can see in our body, in our head, you have this outer cranial membrane. Okay, it's made up of bone and it is tough. And then you have meninges, that is 3 coverings, and then you have inside it you have brain protected. Okay, so we will see brain in detail, inshallah. And before that, you have to remember there is an information related to meninges. So there is a disease called as meningitis. Okay, meningitis. It is a serious health problem. Okay, it's a disease caused by inflammation. Okay, inflammation means what? Like a swelling of meninges. It is caused by microorganisms such as bacteria, virus, fungi, or amoeba that infect the meninges and the cerebrospinal fluid, as I told, surrounding the brain and spinal cord. It is a contagious disease. Contagious disease means it can spread to another person. Okay, and it can spread through coughing or sneezing, kissing, sharing eating utensils, toothbrush, sharing, all these things. It can spread. So meningitis is a contagious disease. You have to remember, contagious disease is the disease can spread from one person to another person through contact. So non-contagious is that which cannot spread, like heart attack. Heart attack is a disease, but it cannot spread through contact. Okay, so good hygiene is helpful in preventing this disease, and there are vaccines also available to protect the meningitis. So what happens is that if a person is suffering from meningitis, the symptoms are high fever, lethargy. Okay, lethargy is like laziness, and irritability. So they get easily irritable, and headache and photophobia. Photophobia is their eyes are like sensitive to light, so they cannot see the light clearly, in the sense like they will have the sensitivity in their eyes, sensitivity. And the stiff neck is like stiff. And then skin rashes and seizures. Seizures, you should know what it is. It is like sudden attack. People have experienced seizures. Okay, especially a stroke or epileptic fit. So this is like a seizure, and so those patients are suffering from meningitis. Proper care and effective treatment should be given. Okay, so today we will stop till here. In the next class we will see the important parts of brain, that is cerebrum, cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. We will see that in detail. So we will stop here, inshallah. Study well. We will see in the next class. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.